Hi, I'm Miss Anna, and today I'll be showing you how to use your Wonder Knitter. A Wonder Knitter is a great way to use yarn to create a rope that can be used in crafting, to make a project, or a work of art of your choice. So the materials that you'll need today are a pair of scissors, a yarn ball, a Wonder Knitter. I'm using the 3-prong attachment, but you're welcome to use another attachment, and a pick. So what we'll do is first learn how to set up your Wonder Knitter. You'll notice that there's an opening of your Wonder Knitter, and then there's a center at the top where we're going to drop the end of our yarn. Drop it down so that it hangs out a significant amount. Bring it out through the center of that opening and just hold that in your hand. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the yarn and wrap it around the front and then the back of the prong. We're going to do that again on the next prong. Bring it around the front, around the back, and onto the last prong. Around the front, through the back, and now we've wrapped it around each prong. We're going to bring it so that it comes back to the first prong that we started on. You'll notice that there are now a couple of things on each prong. This prong has a loop and the working yarn. The working yarn is the yarn that's attached to your yarn ball. You're going to grab your pick and slide it down into this little ridge and pull the loop towards the front so that it comes over the working yarn, like such. We're going to rotate the wheel, and we're now going to begin the next prong. You'll notice there is the loop on the bottom that we're going to take. We're going to pull it towards the front and over the working yarn. Rotate it once more. Bring the loop over towards the front and over the working yarn. The working yarn is what ends up becoming the loop. You can give your yarn a tug down through the center of the bottom, and it should start to look like this. And we're going to keep going. Slide it in the same direction every time. Pull the loop towards the front and over the working yarn. Get a little closer so you can see. There's the loop that's already here. Bring the working yarn right on top of that. We're going to bring the loop towards the front and over. And what's going to start to happen is your Wonder Knitting is going to form down in the center of the Wonder Knitter. You can tug your yarn gently to see how that starts to form. Bring it over and repeat. Bring it over to the front, over the working yarn, slide it, and repeat. I'm going to show you what this is going to eventually look like. So you'll notice the 3 loops are still attached, and as I kept knitting, it starts to form this really beautiful pattern. Now, if you want to cut this off, this is what you're going to do. You're going to grab your scissors, and you're going to cut probably about twice the length of your Wonder Knitter. You're going to cut that yarn off. And what we're going to do now is called casting off. This looks quite a lot like the actual knitting that we were doing, but it's going to be a bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it in front of the peg. This is technically what was the working yarn. And we're going to bring the bottom loop towards the front and over what would have been the working yarn. Instead of moving on to the next prong, what we're going to do now is just slide out the working yarn so that the loop comes off of the prong entirely. We're going to slide the disc, and we're going to do that again for the next prong. We're going to grab the loop on the bottom, bring it towards the front, into the center, over the working yarn. And now we're going to slide the working yarn, what would have been the working yarn, out of the loop. And what you're left with is just one more of the loops. We will repeat this for the last step. We're going to grab the loop with our pick over the what would have been the working yarn, and we're going to slide what would have been the working yarn out so that the loop is removed from the prong. You can now slide your